Well, guys, we are back for another episode of the Liberal Asshole Show, episode 135. And what are today's topics?
Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Laura Loomer, Civil War. Melania Trump sues Hunter Biden. Trump supporters are soyfilled virgin losers. Dipshit MAGA Chris Cuomo falls for AOC AI video. Russian asset Benny Johnson caught buying subs. Texas Republicans rigging the 2026 midterms, and Alaska 2025 is a waste of time.
Oh boy! So what do we begin with first?
Now let's start with the civil war between MAGA and Laura Loomer.
I saw a little bit of this on Kyle covered it, but I didn't get to see the whole thing. So what's going on between Karen Greene and Karen Loomer?
Loony loser Laura Loomer. She seems to be trying to purge people who are quote unquote disloyal to her new boyfriend Donald Trump, and like going full not safe for work with it
because she's a professional whore.
While seditious Karen Greed is one of her biggest targets.
Let the professional whores fight each other.
Yes.
Hey, call me misogynist. Let's go.
I'm gonna play the video.
It's pretty. So yeah, let's watch. How funny does this get? Because when Kyle covered it was hilarious.
It gets wild. It gets wild.
Before we begin, they don't go like full hentai and rip their clothes off when they fight, right?
Though Laura Loomer metaphorically rips Marjorie Taylor Greene's clothes off recently.
As she struts around naked all the time because she's a whore. Alright, so let's watch Base Sam Cedar laugh at these idiots.
Important stuff to get to here. You hate to see two folks that you like fighting. In this instance, it's two folks I don't like, so I love to watch them fight. And
hey, they provide good comedy.
Yeah. I was going to say, so do we. We love it as well.
The most rancid
thing.
Keep
fighting like skeletons in Minecraft.
I can't tell who fired first.
But don't forget to strip for the conservatives. Because we don't want to see that. We only want to see progressive strip.
Surely someone must have done journalism on this.
Essentially, of course.
Oh, that's right. We believe in consent, unlike Republicans.
The image that's been taken down was it said you've been blocked by Laura Loomer or whatever.
Okay.
So this was a response to being blocked by her.
Now this is really mean. A lot of times people, want to see what you've posted. And if you've been blocked, it's mean. People feel like they can't tell their other friends, like I saw this clip, and then other people are talking about it. And apparently Laura Loomer blocked Marjorie Taylor Greene, and this is what she had to say.
Oh, what a baby Karen.
Laugh, laugh, laugh. Of course, what a coward. I looked her up after I heard she attacked Medal of Honor recipient Florent Groberg, who risked his own life to heroically save his military brothers from a suicide bomber. What was hero Florent Groberg's Loomer crime? Nothing. He spoke at a Democrat convention. It's called the Democratic Convention, just incidentally.
Democrat.
But if Laura Loomer has zero respect or reverence for even the most heroic people in America, ask any veteran, military member, and American. No one cares about his politics. The man was willing to die to save others
no,
from
Republicans
a
like you care about their politics. It's just you're not being a Karen like Loomer is.
Shut up, Laura.
Bitching at people for their politics.
Shut up, Loomer.
She really doesn't know what to do with
her. Karen Greene, I think she would like if you stuffed a dildo up her mouth.
We'll say Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay, so I
you can tell I'm going to be very
two-way dildo with her.
You know I'm going to be incredibly misogynistic to these two.
But there's more.
Oh yeah,
they deserve clarify what they're even talking about. The army has posted something about.
Yeah, they then want Trump's button dick in their vaginas.
But it's too tiny, remember, according to Satan.
This guy who was
and according to Stormy Daniels as well, it's like bucket mushroom shape.
I'm gonna sue you.
He's spoken with the DNC, and Laura Loomer was upset that he wasn't born in the United States, according to her. And prior to that, in the days previous, Laura Loomer had said and testified during a deposition in her lawsuit against Bill Maher.
Oh wow, she's suing Maher. Oh come on.
Because
what a Karen.
She's suing Hunter Biden.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not surprised from a Karen.
Have slept together and that they might be in an arranged
Stuff
marriage.
a tampon down your mouth. How about that one?
That the Trump staff 5 days ago told me they can't stand Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Wait a second.
Dumb cunts like them deserve being made fun of, misogynistically.
Okay.
She's suing Bill Maher for
Say
saying
the
that she and
plastic
Trump
woman
had
Laura
sex.
Loomer and
now
the
she's
man
talking about
seditious
Trump's
Karen
staff.
Greed.
I know, it's so
They
right.
will never get
And
progressive dick,
all
and they
of
will
his
always be
firm and
jealous.
semi-firm tariff deadlines.
Hey.
She doesn't get it, Brian.
I got it.
Okay.
Like a wizard staff. What do you think? I'm 2 years old? I mean, I did just say wizard staff. So.
Okay, a wizard staff. Anyways, okay.
They want
So,
Trump's wizard staff
Trump's
up their
staff
asses.
told Laura Loomer to her face.
No, they want
that,
Boomco's American
It
flag.
sounds like his staff must be.
And they call her a
really
jab.
close up. Yeah.
Bible.
Really close up.
What's that? I can't hear you. That Marjorie Taylor Greene was what?
Marjorie
Like
Taylor
what?
Greene.
I'm trying to follow it.
Nobody liked it. Okay.
Okay, so that's how the tension kicked off there,
Okay.
and then she, and then.
All right, can I get back to the
Yeah,
tone
yes,
that Marjorie
yes.
Taylor Greene?
I'm
Shut
sorry.
up, Laura.
I'm sorry.
Shut up, Laura. But there is more.
Whoa.
She is using a Medal of Honor recipient as a pawn to attack Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll because they honored him. Laura Loomer will lie about and slander the best people in order to rip apart other Republicans she is trying to destroy. She routinely lies about
Become
them.
skeletons
She
in
constantly
Minecraft.
lied about Matt Gaetz.
What
She
they
lied
doing?
about those who else. You got to scroll up. I can't.
Laura.
Wait, okay. Who are hardcore and unapologetically America
They
first.
would want to get
That is
fucked by a bone when they
that's
drop
about
it.
as
I didn't expect that much more when I scrolled up.
As a matter of fact, 95% of her
God forbid they
slanderous
find
attacks
bone
are
meal,
against
though. Oh,
Republicans.
boy.
Why does she do that?
She's
Because
a
she is
pick-me
not
Republican.
MAGA. She is MIGA. MIGA.
Ooh.
MIGA?
Make Israel great again.
Oh, make Israel great again.
Oh.
Many people are asking who or what government or what intelligence agency
And of course, since this is Karen Greene, she's probably going to say it in an anti-Semitic way. People remember that.
bankrolled, the twice failed congressional
So of course she's going to bring the Jews into it.
candidate, Laura Loomer. Absence of comma all these years. Because she has never had a real job, she's not legally allowed to own a gun, and she spends 100% of her time trying to funnel her lies and manipulated propaganda to the President of the United States. Many
Because she's
people
desperate
need
to
wake
get
up,
fucked by.
about her reporting.
Yeah.
But she's mad
Researching
because his dick is
facts
too
and
small.
spinning them into lies to serve her agenda doesn't make her good or trustworthy.
She can't
Makes
go to the
her
vice
lie.
president because he's
It
too
makes
busy
her
fucking
dangerous.
couches.
Oh boy.
What a
oh
burn.
boy. Well,
She can't
let's
own
be
the gun.
fair. Let's be fair.
Man,
and see
suck.
what Laura
Imagine being a
Loomer
conservative woman
responded
and being
with,
jealous you're sexually
because-
frustrated.
Now, do we know this is a direct response?
Imagine being a
Like,
whore
is this the
too and
first
being
thing, Brian,
and calling
or are we
others
just trying
whores.
to get to this because Brian likes
I'm not just-
lasciviousness.
No, I'm not. This is what I found on her X page.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Laura Loomer writes, and listen, this is a family show, so you may want to back away from the computer now. Laura Loomer writes, I wish Representative MTG, that is Marjorie Taylor Greene, got on her knees for her Lord and Savior as much as she got on her knees for men who aren't her husband. Just another fake
Karen
Christian.
Greene's a whore too now.
Do you call yourself Christian when your mouth is full of other men's
Wizard staff.
wizard staff? She uses the
Suck his
the
dick now, apparently.
we're not gonna use it because it's a family show. But here's the other thing. I feel like Loomer is
Loomer being anti-Semitic against herself?
She has shown herself to have like a certain sensitivity and awareness there.
Why do you need to bring up your
Keep this
Jewishness
back
for?
up.
Why is that relevant?
Because she makes it clear that she has to specify.
Because she's a Mossad agent.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we find her throwing out anti-Semitic slurs somewhere.
But it's men's.
I'm pretty sure she is towards like Bernie and that at some point.
I appreciate that.
And fake Christians? Oh, you want to see the real Christian? Her name is Ayaka Hideka.
Yeah.
I mean,
and one look at Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she'd beat them both to death with her Bible.
See before,
as they call her, Jap.
First said it was the Jews who made MTG cheat.
Oh yeah, they call it that.
It's like CrossFit gym.
Just comes in and beats them to death with her Bible.
And then they'll look at the.
That'd be a hilarious way to go out. A Christian being beaten to death by their own Bible.
And then they'll be jealous when they see the American wannabe Boonko beam up with the American flag.
The Zionist forced to open up her legs and made her destroy her family. They made her ruin
and
her
they'll
marriage.
be like, wait, you
But
speak fluent English? How is that impossible?
And was forgiven for ruining her marriage and being.
Well, I can imagine her yelling like,
she's very defensive about sexual faith.
And she goes on to say, can you call yourself a Christian when your mouth is full of other men's? I guess this is being specific. Wizard staff. And maybe Jewish.
It was the Jews who made Karen Green cheat on her husband. Oh, there's the anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I don't even like that construction. What's so wrong about being
That's
Jewish?
the Jews' fault, of course.
Yes.
For that matter. Yeah, why are we slut-shaming?
Of course, I told you.
She's not Jewish. She's a Zionist.
We told you all she was anti-Semitic, and we were proven like a minute later.
But she's also saying
she's a
Nazi.
Zion-Nazi. What do you expect?
Having a wizard staff,
anti-Semitic
not
yourself,
necessarily
makes you a man.
From a man.
That's true.
And a proud whore
too. Makes it clear that she's drawing a distinction between the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene.
How about you go back to fucking whoever was in that play? Remember that you got kicked out of. Or was it Bolbert that did that?
But
now, where does Mark Levin come into this? Because apparently,
it's a whole other.
Oh yeah, you said Mark Levin got involved in this cat fight too.
A two-front war.
Yeah.
Right. She's fighting all this stuff, all the pro-Israel supporters in her party, and I do think.
Are we sure that's Laura Loomer's tweet?
Yes, I just saw it.
Okay. Because I don't want to, in any way.
If it isn't, that's the classiest thing on her feed.
Exactly. Well, okay, that's impressive. Now, here is
this is on Real America's Voice. I don't know. Is that a new network pops up every day? I show up to work.
And I don't know. Is this the chat that?
This will fade real quick.
Oh, is this a video?
Yes, this is her responding.
This is her on.
Oh, I see.
Some new channel called Real America's Voice.
With Eric Bowling.
Mark Levin is considered a pillar of
mad that he's not a good person.
Intellectualism and a constitutional scholar on the right, but does not know about contractions or the difference between a possessive your and a you are. But nevertheless.
I wanted to just bring you in to respond to Levin. What do you think's going on here?
Well, isn't it extraordinary what happens when, ever since I've called for AIPAC to be registered under federal law as a foreign agent, basically to
for once you'd be right, but probably for anti-Semitic reasons, unlike us.
Register themselves as a foreign lobbyist, which is what they are. AIPAC lobbies on behalf of Israel. They even take members of Congress on their freshman year on a full expenses paid trip to Israel for several weeks, where they're completely immersed in all of the policies there in Israel, and they're also immersed in all of the financial demands that Israel makes of America and America's military. And ever since I've said that, and I've also used the G word, Eric, I did call it a genocide in Gaza. Mark Levin has lost his...
Which it is, but again, I think you're saying because you're anti-Semite.
...mind and has gone on raving lunatic rants about...
Wait, who's Levin's... What side is Levin on? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I genuinely don't know.
Let's just...
Genuinely, I don't know what side I'm gonna say it's more on Marjorie's side, but I'm not sure.
Hey, you know what? They're all on the same side one way. They're on Team Retard.
Yep.
On social media and on his radio show, even to the point, if you read his comments right there, he is calling a woman who professes to be a Christian, he calls her a bigot. And then someone,
I mean, you are a bigot.
Says, you know, MTG 2028, and he says,
Shit,
prison. The man
You're
is
a Karen
calling for me
bigot.
to go to prison. Mark Levin is
Yeah.
calling for me
Well,
to go
all
to
right,
prison.
No, agreed.
And professional whore Loomer.
Yep.
You don't have to
And
take it down. But to be
Levin.
fair, Levin just asked a question. He wasn't calling for go to prison. Like prison? Like are you suggesting you go to prison? I love this, and honestly, I want to make it clear. I don't care about any of these people. I just want to be able to say that if this in any way increases the anger amongst the followers of Mark Levin or Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Karen
or
Greene,
Laura
you mean?
Loomer, I'm in favor of it.
And whore
Even if this
Loomer.
If this video gets
Loomer,
one
that's
person to get
better.
angry at one of those people, I feel like our work here is done.
I think so too.
It's interesting that Boiling, because
Everyone with a brain knows
used to
wholesome
be
women
on,
are progressive.
on Fox.
Have you ever
Mark
seen
Levin
this
is like
woman
best
named
friends with
Ayaka?
Sean Hannity. There is a lot.
Yes, unfortunately,
of,
she's
backstab-
too young for me. Unfortunately,
But do you think conservatives care?
what's not?
stabbing,
They
distrust that's
wouldn't
going-
care if she was half her age.
Yep. And do you think they're going to be mad that she's an actual Christian like them?
Get on here, folks.
Yeah,
Led
oh,
by
they
Tucker
would be
Carlson.
mad. As I said, they'll try to do things to her, and then she beats them to death with her Bible.
I wonder what would offend them more. A Japanese being a Christian or a Japanese speaking fluent English as American file? What do you think would get them more mad?
And then die of a heart attack.
in part. I mean, that is, I hate to see it. I do think there's something interesting
Just
happening
wait till they run
here,
into
and
Lulu.
It doesn't. What Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing is interesting in the sense that in the last cycle, the three members of Congress that had the highest percentage of small dollar contributions were, you could probably guess who two of them are, AOC and Bernie Sanders. And the other
Because
one
they're
is Marjorie
based.
Taylor Greene. Now, we don't like it, but she is their best grassroots fundraiser who is not named Trump. And
Yeah,
she doesn't
that
take money from
is-
AIPAC,
She's still a
in
cunt.
part because she's pretty anti-Semitic. But it frees
Oh, yeah,
her
yeah,
to
and she's
say
anti-Semitic,
certain
too.
things and position
There's
herself
every
and brand
negativist
herself
in
in
the
a way.
book, remember?
Every single Republican in office is anti-Semitic. Come on, people. Let's not deny it.
That maybe she has
Yeah.
some.
I don't care if they support
belief
Israel.
in
They
the
hate Jews, be
Republican
damned.
Party in the
Negativist
future.
in the book.
And there's a split maybe between the 10 plus million member Kufi Christian Zionists and some of the more new young Republicans who are less associated with a Kufi.
Because they're Nazis.
So what their angle is, it's very subtle. I appreciate that she called it a genocide.
The Nazi
But that's kind of where the
terrorist.
appreciation
Well, I'm glad she called it the genocide of the Palestinians. But remember, Emma, she's not saying it because she genuinely believes it. She's saying it because she's an anti-Semite.
ends.
Yeah.
Because the stuff about
Yeah,
AIPAC
because
being
she
a foreign
hates
lobbyist
Jews,
organization, I think
because
there's a valid...
Jews live rent-free in her brain.
Oh, yeah. Remember Jewish space lasers, people? That's what Karen Greene said
Yep,
right
I
before Biden
remember
came in.
I don't know
'Cause
how
we
much
made fun of
that
it.
would do, but I think it's a good thing to push
Remember
for.
that?
But
Yes.
the explanation is
So, yeah, every
is
single
wrong,
one of these people involved
because
all
they're trying
deeply
to imply that
anti-Semitic.
Israel is the party
Oh,
that
yeah.
is
That
controlling
they
the
are.
United States, when it's actually the other way around.
Okay.
They make
And I
Nick
know
Cruz
that
jealous.
Netanyahu has outsmarted both Biden and Trump and all of that. But Israel is functions as an imperial outpost for the United States. And what they're trying to imply is that it's really the Jews that are secretly controlling us. And you see that the more and more they tease this out in conservative media, that is the underlying implication. And Tucker Carlson
'cause they're
is having
anti-Semitic.
Christians on to talk about how this is like discrimination against Christians. And
Oh,
they
my
can be
God.
a
Now
useful
Jews
tool
are
if we wanna,
anti-Christian.
you know,
Now, really?
put an end to this
listen,
slaughter,
Yes.
but we have
Are
to
you
be
guys
clear
really
about where
that
they're coming
sad?
from.
Like, come on.
And let's be clear here. I am very, very skeptical that they can be a useful tool. I have no problem, and
Agree.
that they're. I'm obviously happy that anybody supports the end of this genocide. And in some respects, don't.
Although I don't think she
it's not a
actually cares.
first-order
That's just
concern of
me, I
mine
guess.
What their reason is. But let's not kid ourselves, ultimately. They are not part of a coalition that we're part of. And so
Nor
to
should
the
they
extent
ever.
that they have any influence on the outcome of this, it has really nothing to do with us. We are part of a coalition, and we can influence that coalition, but we have no influence with the people that Marjorie Taylor Greene has influence with. None. Zero. And she has no influence with the people that with whom that we're in a coalition with, and can get them to change.
Careful, Cedar.
in some
Dumb
way
leftists will
outcome.
argue against you on that one.
There is no joining together, because there is no one for us to pressure together. There is no place where Marjorie Taylor Greene and Greta Thunberg show up together and are more effective than they would be individually.
Yeah.
Who is that person that they would go talk to? That's how you make an assessment as to the value of like developing a coalition with these people. I'm happy that she's doing what she's doing.
Right.
And I wish her good luck, but I'm not going to be able to convince Trump any more than she's going to be able to convince, the Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be able to convince, I don't know.
President AOC?
Yeah. I mean, that's just the facts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just the facts.
And
Just
everything
because
else
you
is a media
agree
tour. Yeah.
on something, it has to do with, where that opinion is coming from and in what context it is. There are instances where, maybe, I'm trying to think of of an example, like, maybe there is a Republican figure that you could go to a president and make a case about we need to protect small businesses more. I mean, maybe. But in this instance, no. You can't take
No, there
leaders
isn't.
of both
Not at the moment.
contingencies and show up together and have there be a person
They're
or a
all
leader
either
of power
because
with a-
they're all either already Nazis or they're in the Lolbert Aryan to Nazi
are helpful.
pipeline.
It's just not. It's
Yeah.
It's just the nature of coalitional. It's the nature of politics. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, and this is where liberal Zionists are leaving oxygen for this really scary stuff. Where if we were talking about Israel as a project of racial integration and ending apartheid and ending genocide for a multicultural purpose, which is what it should be, then you have a better chance of undercutting this. But now for them, they're trying to make it Christians versus Jews, and that's pretty bad. That's pretty dangerous.
Hey,
What
folks,
do you expect anti-Semites to do? So yeah, what do you guys say about Karen Green and Laura Loomer fighting each other?
Oh god! Yeah, you should have seen the So that's all the background to all the that's what was going on then. We've then since had Laura Loomer respond, basically calling Green a cheating whore.
Which Kyle covered, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any moment, and conservatives will be like, "Can you two just 69 each other already for amusement?" All right,
Can you two just make a porn video of each other already?
hentai, you mean? And then they can call them Japs and whatever. All right,
Yeah.
so now with that funny thing out of the way, on to the next topic you brought up.
And that is Melania Trump suing Hunter Biden.
Alright, so no, I have no idea what this is about, and of course it's an ABC article, so what is this Karen bullshit about this time?
This is where I first found it from my local publicly funded network. So, alright, Melania Trump sues Hunter Biden for over $1 billion over defamatory Epstein comments.
Sounds like she's
Melania
crying about
Trump
nothing.
has demanded Hunter Biden retract the false defamatory and lewd statements he made about her that referenced her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, according to Fox News. Lawyers for the First Lady of the United States said if Mr. Biden failed to retract his statements, she would seek more than $1 billion US, $1.5 billion Australian dollars in damages. The notice letter has been sent to Mr. Biden and his lawyers and states that failure to comply will see Ms. Trump pursue remedies available to her to recover the overwhelming financial and reputational harm that you have caused her to suffer.
Oh, sure. Keep going.
The statements were made in an interview Mr. Biden gave to YouTuber Andrew Callaghan in a video titled Hunter Biden Returns. In the interview, Mr. Biden launched a scathing attack on actor George Clooney and said his father's poor showing during the US presidential debate in 2024 was due to taking Ambien.
Sure.
Alejandro Brito, a lawyer serving as the litigation counsel, alleged in the notice that there were 2 defamatory comments made.
All right, let's see.
These comments were, A, Epstein introduced Melania to Trump. The connections are like so wide and deep. That's true, by the way. And 2, Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania. That's how Melania and the First Lady and the President met. Really? Epstein made the intro? Yeah, according to Michael Wolff. Again, true.
So it sounds like she's being a Karen, you're saying.
Yep, the notice gave Mr. Biden until August 7, 2025 to respond or comply, saying you are on notice.
Oh, that was 9 days ago.
Told Fox News Digital the former U.S. president's son did not comply with the request. Trading on the name of others. In the issue notice, Mr. Brito said Mr. Biden has a vast history of trading on the names of others, including your surname for your personal benefit. The above referenced false, defamatory, malicious, disparaging, and inflammatory statements were published to deliberately denigrate Mrs. Trump, the notice said. The timing of this video is evident and underscores the actual malice behind the decision to publish it, given the plain falsity of the statements. It is obvious that you published these false and defamatory statements about Mrs. Trump to draw attention to yourself. As well as asking for a full and fair retraction of the video, Ms. Trump's lawyers want Mr. Biden to apologize. The letter claimed Mr. Biden's source for the statements was Serious Fabulous Michael Wolff, a journalist who has work published in the Daily Beast. His article, titled Melania Trump Very Involved in Epstein Scandal, was the target of a separate cease and desist letter from Mrs. Trump's legal team. Mr. Brito said, following receipt of our cease and desist demand letter just a week ago, the Daily Beast issued an apology to Mrs. Trump and retracted the false and defamatory statements contained in the article by deleting it in its entirety. Boo!
Sounds like Karen bullshit
It's
to me.
completely true, you stupid corporate ghouls. Yep, stupid ghouls.
All right, so keep going.
Miss Trump's lawyers say that means Mr. Biden has unjustifiably relied upon Mr. Wolff's false, defamatory, disparaging, and inflammatory statements about Mrs. Trump and maliciously elected to republish them. Communications director for Ms. Trump, Nick Clements, told Fox News that she is going after anyone who makes similar claims about her and Epstein. First Lady Melania Trump's attorneys are actively ensuring immediate retractions and apologies by those who spread malicious, defamatory falsehoods, he said.
Sounds like she's saying...
yeah, that's the article.
Sounds like she's saying, I want to speak to your manager.
Oh, she absolutely does.
And I'm going to call the cops.
Oh, she's absolutely doing that because...
I'm going to call the cops on black people down the street. So, sounds like
you know that she wants to call the police on all black people and their crime is existing.
God forbid she sees Christine in My Blossom Summer. So, sounds like Karen bullshit as always. So, everything she's crying about is true, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, since I haven't followed this stuff other than make fun of Trump and Trumpsters, what's this connection all about?
So, as you know, Melania Trump was an immigrant. Mm-hmm. And she was a sex worker when she was when she first ran into Epstein. This is just from what I've heard and read.
Yep, I remember that was like a controversy that she's not like like she was not like she didn't immigrate properly or whatever.
Yeah, probably honestly probably trafficked by Epstein. And then she met Donald Trump, and allegedly their first time was on the Lolita Express. So
he knows everywhere, people, and Trumpsters will defend it.
Yeah. Remember that. Remember that that on that Epstein list, Donald Trump is at the top. That's why he's not releasing it.
I bet they would love to get their hands on Ayaka and Bunko too.
You know, they'd be strangled to death by Bunko's American flag and then beaten to death by Ayako's Bible.
Self-defense, they don't like that.
Yep.
Just wait till they meet Lulu with her sword. Oh boy. Because she's just as young
Slices
as
off their heads.
she's as young as both of them. So yeah, just sounds like Karen bullshit. That
Put around the age they want, too.
no, that's way too old for them. Remember, they weren't even younger.
True.
So yeah, sounds like she's a Karen, and in theory, this should be nothing, right? But of course, they're gonna cry and moan, and people are gonna fold as always. So that's what's pathetic. So yeah, cry more, Melania. Cry more. How about you stuff a tampon down your mouth and shut up? There's my misogyny for you. So, I guess that covers everything. So I guess we're on to the next topic then.
We're on to our third topic, which is Trump supporters are soy-filled virgin losers.
A hilarious video that Mike did recently, as they are always raging mad and crying and moaning about everything, as you all know. And since Trump got elected, there's been a whole bunch of incredibly funny liberal and progressive YouTubers that have been taken over everywhere. And this woman, I can't remember her name, on the I Hat podcast, I think it was. Yeah, it is what's called. Viciously destroyed Trumpsters, and it was so hilariously funny. And Fox News and all them cried and moaned about everything, as they always do, because they're bleeding for their tampons and such. So let's go watch and laugh.
Everybody except for
because you're all losers. Always remember that.
Everybody except for the MAGA voters explicitly understands that Taco Tits and his cabal of beta males cheat. They cheat on everything. They never want to win on their own merit.
Because
and
you're all
Taco
losers.
Tits has this huge bench that he can lean into.
Like Jesse Lee Peterson would say, you're all beta males.
Pluck a beta male to do diabolical shit against our democracy. So he immediately calls Governor Abbott of Texas, who is a complete sycophant, beta male, hypocrite Christian of the highest order.
Ah, don't you love when they get destroyed?
That incredible commentary came from Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast, and I think that she is one of the few individuals leading the way in roasting the ever-loving shit out of Donald Trump and his pathetic supporters. And aside from South Park and the way that they've ruthlessly torn into Trump and his cronies like Kristi Noem, I don't think anybody does it better.
Her face kept falling off.
And what you can tell from this hilariously scathing...
And of course she shot dogs too. But that's what she did.
Commentary that's becoming increasingly more common is that the fuck your feelings crowd gets all up in their feelings the second you give them a taste of their own medicine by bullying them back. This is something that we all need to pay attention to because it works. And after nearly a decade of dealing with this unhinged cult, most people are now starting to understand that there is value in standing up to these bullies, because we're talking about
have Bunko make fun of you like she did in Volume 3 if you saw that.
deeply insecure, stupid people who think that the world revolves around them. So if you attack their deepest insecurities,
you have to be
you'll
when you
see
how
them melt
stupid
like
American
the snowflakes that they are. It goes back to that weird attack that Democrats temporarily ran with last year that completely threw them off their games because they couldn't handle...
Hey, remember when Base Shuckle Walls called you all weirdos and you all got very triggered by it? I remember that, and that was very funny. Also, unfortunately, Base Shuckle Walls isn't running in 2020, which makes me sad.
The fact that the entire country thought that they were weird and they were being laughed at. Like, they wanted to be in on the joke, but they were the butt of the joke, and that fact ate them up. It's not the kind of politics that most of us wanted, since we're all adults here, but when you are dealing with a movement of emotionally stunted adults who never mentally matured, you kind of have to match their...
Fuck your feelings? Oh yeah, how about right back to you?
Fuck your feelings!
energy and crush their spirits any way you can if you want to break through. But only a few have truly
not just fuck your feelings. You deserve it to have your be abused.
Enjoy have that tampon shoved up your ass and shut it. How about that?
Mastered the art of bullying back MAGA as well as Jennifer Welch has. And I say this because she recently...
Or maybe would you like Bunko to shove her American flag up you and sodomize you? I think she'd be happy to do it.
Went on a rant on her podcast about Trump supporters.
And then you'll be calling her racial slurs as she speaks fluently to you in English, and you'll be all stunned.
So goddamn weird. It actually got picked up by conservatives around the world, including Sky News. But of course, Fox News covered it too. So I want to play her viral rant for you and then show you the hilarious reaction from Fox News to her rant. You're not going to want to miss this. But first, let's hear what she had to say.
I went to a Mexican restaurant with my parents, my son, my husband over the weekend. And there's just all these MAGA-looking people in there. And I thought, you've got a lot of fucking nerve coming in here. Coming into this Mexican restaurant where every single waiter, obviously English was their second language, served with a smile.
All of them there.
They run a great little local business. And Oklahoma City is a better place because of these
stereotypical and racist as they are.
To see these fat-ass, pink-arm, teeny-weeny beta pricks.
This is based wholesome white food talk we're looking at.
Walk into this Mexican restaurant and sit down and smile.
Why can't women be more like
I
this
don't
and not
think
conservative
you should be able
cunts?
to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, but do not participate.
Why make Cracker Barrel suffer with them?
That makes America cool.
Cracker Barrel doesn't
And what
deserve
makes
that
America
much BS
cool
from them.
is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump,
one that was
tell them to go back home.
That was bitching about gay marriage all those years ago.
Are you talking about Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, they send them over to Chick-fil-A.
They would love it. Oh, they don't discriminate against gay people anymore. If you didn't know,
browbeat DEI.
So they've gone woke.
Gay people, and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit.
Some of them are good people.
Is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit with taco tits at the top of the ticket?
Listen to this beautiful mouth. Isn't it awesome?
White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel because nobody wants to see your fucking snug
beautiful
ass,
people,
teeny weeny, pink arm,
keep
big
it coming
gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
God damn, that was brutal, but very much
warranted.
Oh my
god, that was
and
so beautiful. I would want more,
feel like
please.
She was describing some of my MAGA family members, but I can assure you I'm not mad, Jennifer, because everything you said was spot on, and we all know people.
Now you see that, conservatives? That's actual wholesome women right there, unlike those trad-con waifu whores that you always trot out.
Like the individuals that she was describing. It's not just that these people are deeply hateful and racist, which would be bad in and of itself. It's that they're the most insufferable, obnoxious people to be around.
Are always insufferable
Before
losers.
I even knew that one of my siblings was a Trump supporter, being in their presence was agonizing because they somehow deluded themselves into thinking that they were charming and funny and insightful.
When are conservatives ever funny? I've never seen a funny conservative once in my life, other than laughing at them.
And because of their undeserved confidence, they inserted themselves into conversations and invited.
I think they're just jealous that I'm funny, unlike them, and I don't even try.
themselves to every event and, you know, shared their expertise about everything because, of course, they know fucking everything, and they never picked up on the cues that people didn't really like what they had to say. You know, they didn't see that they were making us uncomfortable. And of course, you know, they don't feel bad for the chaos that they just unleashed on the country by voting for Donald Trump because they're too stupid to ever admit that they're wrong about anything because they literally don't have the mental capability of being introspective.
You are intellectually inferior. You're retarded.
And trying to socialize with their queer family members.
You're not retarded. You're petarded like Peter in Family Guy.
They didn't just vote to fuck them over because to them, they are the center of the universe. And they simply don't think about the way that their actions affect other people.
What?
These people, these conservatives are dumber than Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson combined.
No, Billy, remember. The man with no brain.
Because they're fundamentally selfish people.
Remember, Billy from the Group Adventures of Billy and Mandy canonically has a -5 IQ.
That's because his nose, remember.
They only think about themselves exclusively.
How did that happen to Harold too?
And they will do and say whatever they can to get our attention. But since they're too stupid,
mom's as dumb as his dad.
But she's too busy being racist to grim. Remember,
too cringe to get our attention by just being normal people. They put on their clown noses and do their best.
Every ounce of his patience not to slice her in half.
Foolish mortal! I don't think you know who I am. Let me give you a hint.
To get us to notice them by annoying us or nagging us to death. For example, this large pro-Trump Twitter account shared an AI image of Sydney Sweeney as Snow White.
Oh yeah, who is Sydney Sydney Sweeney, this stupid crazy woman I keep hearing about for like weeks now. I don't even know who this is, and people keep like trying to shove her in my face and whatever, like I'm supposed to be impressed or scared or whatever. What is this? Do you know?
Okay, so, I've forgotten what she does. She featured in a jeans ad where she basically would do she did a role in The Handmaid's Tale, and she was in a couple other things as well.
Oh, I'm supposed to be scared at, apparently? I don't know what she...
No, what she did, she appeared in a ad. There was dog whistling eugenics stuff.
Well, I'm not surprised.
And then everyone was like, and then all the conservatives jumped on Twitter and were like, the libs are mad about this video, and the libs were like, what the fuck? No,
I don't
didn't even know this. Yeah, they're like, this video is stupid, but what the fuck are you on about?
I don't even know who this cunt even is. Like, why are you guys shoving my face, people?
Claiming that...
Other than her tits are looking like as big as Lulu in Adventure Isekai I'm working on.
Liberal women are losing their minds over this clip of Sydney Sweeney, which isn't true. Nobody gives a shit at all. But they kept on trying because Gunther Eagleman, a massive MAGA account on Twitter, claimed that this Sydney Sweeney ad was a liberal trigger. But when journalist Shashar...
A liberal trigger, yet I've never heard of her.
He let him know that this ad came out back in June and nobody gave...
And you do occasionally go outside and touch grass.
And I'm not terminally online?
Yeah.
You mean I'm too busy working on My Blossom in Summer? And you think they're jealous they can't make manga funny like I can?
The conservatives are creatively bankrupt.
Yep,
he simply responded with, cry more, which isn't a surprising response because, again, we are dealing with semi-literate baboon-brained dumb fucks who refuse to believe that nobody finds them interesting or entertaining. So, much like Jennifer...
Just wait till I think it was volume 10, because still got to work on the scripts for that, when Mitsuru makes fun of you all.
For Welch, I fucking hate these people. And I'm tired...
We find them entertaining. We find them entertaining to laugh at.
Yeah, because you're all idiots.
Pretending like I don't. MAGA is a modern-day Nazi movement for all intents.
And you're all Karen snowflakes, like you're crying about South Park now.
And purposes, and these people
when
are...
South Park has always been funny.
Destroying this country. So we need to start...
We didn't flip when they make fun of liberals. I laughed at them too. You guys are sensitive snowflakes.
Treating them like the social pariahs that they are. Let them throw their tantrums. Let them cry like the babies that they are. Deny them the thing that they crave the most, which is our attention. That's not going to defeat them, but it will demoralize them. And we need the opposition to be as weak as possible if we ever want a chance to save this country from these fascist fuckwads. So Jennifer Welch expressed how I'm feeling to a T, and that's why I think it went so viral, not just because it triggered conservatives, because it resonated with everyone else who's been dealing with these motherfuckers. And it seemed like what she said hit a nerve in MAGA world because that...
Which is funny too, because Christine's part American too.
Rant came across the radar of, everyone from Fox News propagandists to Sky News, and as you're going to see from their commentary, they were visibly butthurt, but they're too stupid to come up with some sort of a clever response, so they just kind of mauled it on television. Take a look.
Imagine not being able to think of a comeback.
Violate L+ ratio.
Imagine not being able to make a comeback like I can on the spot.
Barrels. We actually look forward to eating
them. They're the best.
The cheese in the middle of the table. Oh God, delectable.
How about the peg game? Just the peg game alone.
You just saying it reminds me of God, what was his name that was on the Drunken Peasants? The manatee, remember?
Brett Keane.
Yeah. Hello, me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Remember the clip when they were making fun of him eating a bowl of chili? No cheese. That's what I was thinking when you said that.
The peg game itself was another
national
winner.
treasure. And you know who knows
we're old when we mentioned old Drunken Peasants clips, people.
It is not a predominant white restaurant. It's it's black people, it's Latino people, Asian people, it's Muslim people. Everybody likes Cracker Barrel. Who doesn't want chicken and dumplings on the side of a highway?
You all don't want them there because you're all racist.
It's spiritual nourishment. And when she goes out and makes this other argument that like, oh, MAGA voters shouldn't be anywhere near Mexican or Chinese restaurants. First of all, yes, Wardrobe wants me to stay out of Mexican and Chinese restaurants. I concede that, but it's not because of my politics. It's so lazy to make the assumption that only white people voted MAGA. There was a 44-point swing with Latinos to Trump, legal
and they're
migrants.
retarded.
Obviously, his black male.
And now he's losing their vote support too recently. Remember, Kyle covered like Gen Z is now like under 30% approval of him.
It should have never even been a majority either.
Yeah, everyone hates him now. Everyone hates his policies too because his policies always sucked. It's just Americans were fucking retarded and stupid, and you all deserve to be made fun of. You should have sucked up and voted for Kamala like I had to.
So what she's really saying is, I don't talk to anybody that's not in my elite circle. Lazy.
Oh yeah, she is an elitist. She sounded very base to me. What are you talking about? She was like a perfect
Well,
milk.
they love using elitists because they're pretending, they're trying to convince their audience that they're the outsiders to external anti-establishment people, when in reality they're the establishment now.
I think they're just jealous that they can't have based milfs like we can.
None out of habit. The horror movie.
Because we always have the best bitches every time, people.
Offensive straw man, and it just goes to show you that the loudest people in Hollywood are also the dumbest.
I think it's funny that she's making fun of conservatives for not being attractive.
I mean, yeah, because you guys are ugly as fuck.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I couldn't hear you over the Botox injection.
Hair and makeup.
Can you speak up?
Have you seen Christy Nome?
I love how her main
face
point
kept
just went
falling
completely
off.
over their heads because, of course it did.
So one of the fakest bitches in the Republican Party.
And she's a dog killer, as I keep reminding people.
Her point, in
she's
case anyone
literally
is
evil.
watching, and I'll speak more slowly so they can understand it.
She's a
Her
demon.
point is that you degenerate
possessed.
I call all of you guys stupid and evil, but she genuinely is evil. Who kills dogs?
Should stick to your own fucking culture, since you voted for a fascist who's trying to eradicate the very people who make our multicultural society what it is. Stop being hypocrites, be consistent, and if you want to live in an all-white society,
being a snowflake
you should get to reap the benefits of diversity.
Learn to laugh at yourself and not be a blue-eyed white dragon that we know.
And stay the fuck away from the people that you voted to harm. That is her point. And I love how these idiots tried to attack Jennifer's looks by saying, yeah, well, you're unattractive. You've got Botox. And I'm sure that the guy who said that felt especially attacked because she described him in her rant.
Made me
she
horny
talked
as
about
hell
MAGA
hearing
men
that.
with
Let's
big
go.
guts. But all he could say was, oh, yeah, well, you have Botox. Got her. Nice try, you incestuous hog. Like, this is all that they can come up with. It's hilarious. But that wasn't the end of it, because other Fox News snowflakes decided to weigh in and tell everyone how offended they were as well. And of course,
Stay
it was exactly like we just watched, but like they
Keep
worded it
changing
differently,
tampons.
basically.
Get your fat over to Cracker Barrel.
She seems pleasant. Very
Yeah, she
enjoyable.
did. She seemed very pleasant. I would like to talk to her every single second of the day.
Right.
It makes me.
I'd like to work for her.
That's why
Also, bitch, cover your legs up. Wear a longer dress, for God's sake. Stop being a whore.
I never watched Bravo. But I mean,
Okay.
we wrap our head around that, because you want to have this country.
Shut up,
all
Kill Me.
equal.
You're a
I don't care
retard.
what color skin you. Everybody's equal. No special advantages for anybody. That means you can't go to get Chinese food. I mean, I've never heard of this.
I know.
I actually like Cracker Barrel.
I love it.
I would recommend the Grandma's Breakfast.
But she just categorized that as only Republicans go to Cracker
I
Barrel.
like it with an extra side of eggs to
Cool.
go with it. Sometimes the egg is not.
I don't think she wants you to go to Cracker Barrel.
Well, no, she was really directing this toward.
Wants him only to go to Cracker Barrel.
Right,
If you
right.
voted for Trump, that's the only restaurant he can eat.
No,
Yeah.
but she was, and that's the point of this, is that she wasn't talking about the multicultural revolution that the president was able to build with black voters.
There is none.
Asians, Latinos.
How about that?
She's talking about the white voters.
Yeah.
And she doesn't realize it is his appeal to the
There
minorities.
is no appeal to
that
Trump.
won the
He's a
election.
fucking
She's just
retard.
targeting
That's
the
a good point. So does that mean if you are Mexican and you voted for Trump, you can't even eat in a Mexican
She's
restaurant?
gonna kick them out of their own
Hey, if they
restaurant.
don't want to serve you, deal with it.
What about like a Houlihan's that has Mexican food on the menu? Can you go in there?
Because guess what? Political ideology and political beliefs are not a protected class. So if business want to discriminate against you because you're a conservative or whatever, they have the right to do so, and you can deal with it. Sorry, that's your unregulated capitalism for you.
And then they're going to like try to
small government.
You cannot
no regulation, all that.
You cannot
How about that?
Have the guacamole.
White boy. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is going to be.
Well, you want no regulation and all that? There you go. You can't be served because you're a Republican. How about that? How do you like your medicine?
Yeah, I have a friend, and when she deals with this kind of thing, she just looks at him. She goes, "I'm going to pray for you."
Oh, shut up,
just
Karen.
Too angry. It's like, God.
She wasn't angry. She was based. You're all mauled and mad. How about that?
Fuck you, lady. People can vote for anything, man. Right. And people can respond by shunning you if you vote for an insurrectionist, racist rapist who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, especially if his policies are making the country objectively worse.
You guys are fun to make fun because you're all
you don't get to
dead.
talk about other people being mad after you voted for the guy running on retribution. But this is what I mean. Like, these people have no fucking self-awareness whatsoever. If you're not mad about what's happening, by the way, you're either dumb, immoral, or you're not paying attention, because all normal people around the world, not just here at home, are mad about what's happening, because how could you not be? What's happening is a catastrophe.
Imagine a fictional character in a manga knowing more about this shit than you all, and she's not even American.
A swing in black and brown voters to Trump, they said that in the last statement too. Like, this isn't the gotcha that they think it is. First of all, rerun the numbers now and see how Trump holds up with these communities. Second of
all, Trump would lose if the election was today, pals. How about that one?
Well, the same thing still applies. Like, I can't dictate how black and brown people respond to members of their own community who voted for a fascist, but as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, I can tell you how I feel about the MAGA queers that voted for Donald Trump. I think that they should be excommunicated from the community. And I don't speak for everybody in the community, but I'd say that probably most of them agree with that. Like, I don't want to see you at the gay clubs or at Pride,
white community.
Or at
I'm a part of that.
If you voted for a man
How about
who's
that
trying
one?
to erase our fucking community from existence, fuck you. If you're a gay Trump supporter, like, you need to go be with your people at Turning Point USA, right? Go to their churches, hang out with them there. We don't want you in our spaces because you're a useful fucking tool who voted against your own community, probably because you agreed with mass deportation or you're against trans people. So fuck off, die mad, die alone. We want nothing to do with you. That's how I feel. But getting back to Jennifer, somehow her comments managed to create a sort of reverse Bud Light situation where Trump supporters such as Congressman Greg Steube called on conservatives to pack every table at Cracker Barrel and make it the busiest week they've ever had. And she responded to that by pointing out that conservatives are currently actually supposed to be boycotting Cracker Barrel because of their support for Pride.
So pack up Cracker Barrel, but boycott at the same time because they're too woke, apparently. You guys can't even get your boycotts and shit straight. That's how sad you are.
DEI, and she added, thanks for supporting DEI and the LGBTQ plus community, MAGA. And to that, all I can say is, legendary, iconic. She never misses, ever. Now, even though I would declare her the queen of giving MAGA a taste of their own medicine, I've noticed that a lot of other people are doing the same exact thing. Hence why there's been a rise in the ironic use of the term dark woke, that's what the kids are saying these days, that kind of references this increasingly common tactic to be as vicious as you possibly can be to MAGA degenerates, either to get them to fuck off
all degenerate
or to
losers.
just give them a taste of their own medicine and be spiteful. And to be clear, dunking on MAGA dipshits isn't new, but people are finally increasing their vitriol towards these people
you
to
deserve to be made
proportionally
fun of
match the
forever
vitriol
and
that they've
ever and
spewed
ever
towards
for being
us
a
for
dipshit.
10 years now. And as of late, more and more people have managed to hone in
to the point where
MAGA's
Buddha makes fun of you in my blasphemous
all
southern.
extremely easy to read, and that's how you hit a nerve. You pinpoint the insecurity and you attack
Just wait till
that,
when Ika
and they
makes
melt
fun of
like
you too,
snowflakes.
because
For
they're both
example,
progressive.
we all know that they want to be seen as alpha male tough
And then you
guys,
can be
even
mad
though
because
they're
she's an
weak
actual
pussies.
Christian, unlike
So
you all.
if you treat them like the beta males that they are, you could very easily get under their skin. Case in point, former Hercules actor turned conservative burnout Kevin Sorbo tweeted a video.
Oh, this is a new big deal now. Apparently, fucking conservative retards are raging because the NFL. You know the Minnesota Vikings, right? In the NFL.
Hold on. I need to stop sneezing. Okay, now what?
You know the Minnesota Vikings, right? In the NFL.
Yes.
Conservatives are making a big deal now because they have a male cheerleader. Oh my gosh, big deal.
Of a gay Vikings cheerleader saying,
I'm gay too,
I've been
of
a
course.
Vikings fan all my life. Sigh. I need a new team now. But as people quickly point
Big deal if they have a gay man cheerleader. Boo-hoo.
pointed out, Kevin Sorbo literally looks exactly like the guy he's calling gay. And people also pointed out the flamboyant dance moves that he did in a scene for Hercules, limp wrist and all, mind you. So this Hollywood actor quickly learned that he's not more manly than the cheerleader that he's shitting on, even by his own fucking standards.
My hiker
also pointed out his gay
ass
kiss
is more of a
in
man
Meet the
than all of you.
Spartans, which bought him a one-way ticket to hell. Sorry, Kevin, like God's not gonna accept I was only acting as a defense. Straight to hell, buddy.
Deep down, you're all
Others
just
pointed
jealous.
out that it's a little gay for him to have such strong feelings about some twink that he's never met, which is true.
But I love the
Others called out his
jealousy.
insecurities and how he's
Because us
miserable and
progressives
possibly
are the real
closeted
men
for
are
caring
like
so
that.
much about this. Other people
Soy-filled
made fun of him for
losers.
being a snowflake, and that goes on and on. Now, he wasn't ratioed, but he was getting shit on so hard by so many people that he quickly retweeted his own post, which to me is an indication that he was hoping that his right-wing followers would jump on board to defend him, but no dice. But he's not the only washed-up celebrity who has tried to cling to relevance by coming out as an obnoxious, blowhard conservative, because Dean Cain, who starred as a made-for-TV Superman back in the 90s, joined ICE because I guess since the new Superman is
Wait, are you Mr.
pro-immigrant,
Mackey?
the old Superman wanted to prove that Superman can still be an immigrant-hating piece of shit too. But for whatever reason, he went on Piers Morgan's show to talk about his latest virtue signal with ICE, and Piers Morgan, for some reason, even though he's aligned with this man ideologically, decided to play a clip of him being roasted by John Oliver. And if you ever doubted the efficacy of the bully MAGA strategy, this is your proof that it works. Because as he watches John Oliver prey on his biggest insecurity, his irrelevance, you can almost see his soul get crushed in real time. Watch his face very closely.
On the plus side, no need for that guy to wear a mask because the chances of anyone recognizing him are fucking zero. You know, there's an old saying in Hollywood. If all you can get is Dean Cain, you are fucked. Now, I'm not saying that ICE isn't finding people. I'm just saying, when you are reduced to pinning a badge on the 59-year-old star of the dog who saved Christmas, the dog who saved Christmas Vacation, the dog who saved the holidays, the dog who saved Halloween, the dog who saved Easter, and the dog who saved summer, maybe you are in trouble.
Your response, first of all, to John Oliver's attack.
Why does John Oliver hate dogs?
Why does John Oliver hate dogs?
So I did a lot of...
I think Piers Morgan, all these idiots are just jealous that Oliver is actually the base British around here.
dog movies. Yeah, I've done over 200 movies.
What do you think?
You know, I've done tons of films and thousands of hours of television. John Oliver is making a point, I guess.
Punched in the face
59
years ago.
Years old, and I've joined ICE, but it has nothing to do with, you know, go ahead and denigrate my career, which is weird. It's an odd thing to do. But what I'm doing is I'm standing up.
I've got to say, that was absolutely amazing, and I rarely give Piers Morgan credit for anything because he doesn't deserve it, but Piers Morgan, good job, my friend, showing a side-by-side of a guest's reaction and someone relentlessly shitting on them and then asking for their response right away. That is dirty, but it's a rare Pierce W, and he deserves credit for that. I'm sorry. Now, as you saw, Dean Cain had no idea how to respond, so he just tried to defend himself, which made him look even more pathetic, because if you starred in so many more movies than any of us thought, why haven't we heard of any of them? You're kind of proving John Oliver's point. But as you saw, John Oliver cut straight through to his core insecurity, and you could tell how badly it hurt him. And when you take into account the things that I've talked about in this video, you know, as well as South Park's ruthless attacks on Trump, Kristi Noem, and Charlie Kirk, followed by their responses to that, which is them either seething or coping, like Charlie Kirk is pretending that he loves it and he's so honored by it, and either he's lying or he doesn't understand that they're shitting on him and he's too stupid to get that. But like, you can see in a nutshell, we've found MAGA's kryptonite in this video.
Oh yeah, Cartman
you
became
simply have to bully them back, be as vicious to them,
Charlie Kirk,
as
if you
they've
didn't
been
know.
to you. Like, the only way to deal with the bully is to bully them back. You know.
I was hoping he would become a woke retard to be opposite of everyone. Remember? Ugh!
Now, there's a mission in Mario 64. I'm dating myself, called Bully the Bully. You get a star for doing it. Well, same applies here. Bully the bully, and you get a star in life.
Careful, Mike.
Guess.
Super Mario 64
but when you
might
give them
be
a
too
taste
hard
of
for
their
those
own
snowflakes.
medicine, they simply cannot take it. And I'll be honest, I don't
$4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $0.
want to stoop to their
who are we
level
kidding?
and
Video
be a
games are
shitty
always
person,
too hard for them.
But they've pushed the rest of us so fucking far that we can't help but
They're like very retard. They can't even play Pokemon when it's so simple.
punch back. We have to. It feels like we're obligated to do it at this point. And to be clear, I think a lot of people, myself included, tried to give them grace and be the bigger person in hopes that we can maybe bring some of them back to reality one day. But after this last election, it was clear to many of us that they're just too far gone.
Yeah, like we said, when Trump first won, we spent years trying to explain to you why Trump sucks ass and all as nice as possible. But then, after Biden won, you all had your violent meltdown in January 6th and all that. And of course, you all stupidly voted for him again. Sorry, we're not interested anymore. We're going to make fun of you forever. How about that? You deserve it.
There's no coming back for so many of them. Hence why the
every day.
We're not going to be like Chunk Ugert and Karen Kasparian. How about that?
This came up. It's evident that some of these people simply cannot be rehabilitated, nor do we want them to come back to polite society if they refuse to atone. Like, if you've done so much damage,
yep,
and you want to be welcomed back to the family and, you know, repair the bridges you've burned, you can't just apologize. Like, you have to actually atone for your sins. You have to actively work to undo the damage that you caused if you ever want people to associate with you again. And again, these narcissists don't understand that. They can't understand how they hurt people they love. And I'm not going to pretend
because they don't
like being mean to MAGA is some grand strategy, because it's not at all. A lot of us are just really fucking pissed off and petty. And the only
fucking dump.
Only thing I think they like is Trump. I don't even know if they like themselves because they're too dumb.
Satisfaction they get from living in this dystopian hellscape that they created is knowing that we're able to at least dish back a fraction of the bullshit that these fascist fucking cunts served to us over the past 10 years.
That was so beautiful watching Trumpsters get destroyed and humiliated and all that. What about you? Wasn't that funny or what? You keep sounding like you keep breaking up a lot. Don't hear you.
In and out a little bit. I'm distracted by other things.
So yeah, that was very funny. So now, what to cover next?
Alright, next topic. MAGA Chris Cuomo falls for AOC AI video.
How, Cuomo? How? And this is not Andrew Cuomo.
Because he's a MAGA stooge now.
Yeah, this is not Andrew Cuomo, who is, of course, still running in the New York City mayor elections. This is his brother,
He's
Chris
doing
Cuomo.
damage control. That's what he's doing. That's what's going on.
Yep, he used to be on CNN and such. And, of course, I also found out after this that he also had a sexual assault allegation scandal, too, like his brother. Seems to run in the family. But hey, according to Andrew, remember, it was all because they're Italian, because, you know, Italians can't control themselves. Hey, not my words, his words. So, yeah, Chris Cuomo was such an idiot, he fell for an AI video of AOC saying the absolute stupidest things ever that no one should honestly believe that she would actually say. But he did, and then he doubled down, and then he tripled down, and then he quadrupled down and continued on. So, let's watch how stupid this is. This is funny.
Welcome everybody to Crystal Kyle and Friends. Today we're going to be talking to Jennifer Welch of the I've
But of course, gotta get to the video now.
I mean, it's like hard.
Yep, you gotta do your stupid long intros.
So, before we continue, I want to show everybody what AOC said in this fake AI video. And remember, Chris Cuomo thought this was real. Watch this.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess. And the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen.
Guys, do you really think AOC would swear in Congress? No. Like really? Do you really think that?
She's too nice to say that.
She's like Ayaka in terms of modesty. And calling her a slut, a sultry temptress and whatever. Like, come on, people. She's saying stuff she would never say. Come on. And also, as Kyle pointed out, you see at the top, parody, 100% made with AI. Apparently, people can't see that.
Staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul.
Because they're dipshits looking to
resurrect the Fuhrer.
They want to rape her because they're evil demons.
It's something that should alarm every American citizen. Because in America, beauty is not defined by whiteness. Oh,
I just noticed too, watching this like the first time I watched it, I'm actually looking at her lips and you can easily tell it's AI. So her lips are like closing in weird places when she's talking. Like, come on, people.
no. It is defined by the number of victim groups of which you are a member. Skinny, attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, cisgender women descend from the slave daddy oppressors of this nation. And any man who cranks one out while thinking about a woman like this probably hates black people. Probably hates gay people. And they certainly hate the
It sounds like something you'd hear on crazy Craigslist ads.
Like, come on, people. I'm sure a lot of you maybe hate AOC, but do you really, really, really think she would say this? Like, come on. Even if you hate her, you gotta admit that this is too silly for even her. Come on.
Of our great nation. So I say,
Laura
instead of
Loomer would say.
Yeah.
simping for the Sydneys, we should be celebrating the Shaniquas. Instead of worshiping the hot, straight blonde, what about the obese alphabet, people with blue hair? They need love too. And to all the haters who say companies that go woke, go broke, I'd rather be poor than a fucking Nazi.
It literally says on the top of the screen, parody.
I mean, I'd rather be that too, but come on, people. This is so fake.
She was talking about Sydney Sweeney's fun bags and talking about dudes cranking one out.
What did she say? Like daddy slave masters or something?
Yeah, and she said, like, instead of talking about the Sydney Sweeney's...
And Cuomo's dumbass fell for this.
Bro, now here's my guess.
Because he's a retarded. Because he's retarded. Remember, and he's part of MAGA.
On the original video,
Oh
some
my
shit
gosh.
about, like,
He's a MAGA stooge, so of course he'll fall for it. Because he's as stupid as the MAGA people.
You know? But this, I mean, this is...
Which
now,
would be less embarrassing to just admit to that than what he's chosen to do. instead.
Yes, and so now let's talk about what he's chosen to do. So now he goes on his News Nation show, which has viewership of around 7.5 people, give or take. And he does one of the non-apology apologies. Take a look at this.
You listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most? Why?
What? No. I think the first I know the first question I'd ask. Why do you want to fuck AOC?
Like conservatives, because they're jealous. Because they're jealous.
That would be my first question.
They're jealous because she has standards, and she's hot, and she'll not let them fuck her, and they won't respect consent and all that.
Called on Israel to stop. Why have you never told
They're
Hamas
jealous she's the
to stop?
ultimate waifu.
Told Hamas to surrender.
Yep.
Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish
you're looking
guy
up to
who
your
had his
right,
car
people,
bombed?
is actual base women.
AOC
Unlike
tweeted
those
back and
whores
said,
you trot everywhere, like I said earlier.
That's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words. And she was right. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say. But it wasn't her. So I thanked AOC for correcting me. But I then reminded her.
Just look at her lips.
Part of the tweet that mattered, okay?
Damn, you're an
Which really shouldn't have
imbecile.
been a thing, let's be honest.
God damn.
Why did AOC, the
Dude,
most popular
Cuomo, you are
Democrat in
the
the country,
stereotype of a fucking boomer.
No, it's because we're Italian, remember? According to them. Because you all know Italians cannot control themselves sexually. And remember, that's not my word. That was it.
Could you imagine if a hentai couple and an Italian couple met?
Are you trying to give me ideas for something in the future?
She has never said that.
Or maybe I'm giving you ideas for maybe some NSFW stuff.
Oh boy! About the American IDF soldier who returned home only to have his car firebombed in America by anti-Semites.
Oh yeah, of course he has to bring us back to anti-Semitism because AOC's an anti-Semite apparently to these people. What an excuse!
I love when he's like, "It was really good."
Oh,
I mean, it really.
and would you
was.
look? Oh, hey, all that stupid those whores on Fox and Friends. Look at Crystal Ball cover herself up unlike you all.
We might need to
as
down
always.
AI completely until we can figure out what the hell's going on.
We need to shut down right-wing
idiot
boomers
cunts.
completely until we can figure out what's going on because that's a real problem.
Yeah, and Cuomo's so pathetic.
Demons,
Like,
remember?
On CNN, he was like a typical
No, they're
CNN
whores,
type
remember?
voice.
Demon whores.
He's
That's
on the
what they
wilderness,
are.
so
They're
he
demon
realizes, I gotta get
whores.
new media. Teams up with the PBD
And they are
guys.
jealous they cannot have Crystal
Look
Eater.
at that. Then the slow transition starts.
They can have the
Yep.
they can only have the breaking points, Crystal.
With zero principles, and it's like when in Rome, hey, they're all leaning to the right, and they get positive reaction from their audience.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna start leaning right.
Yep.
And then he has this News Nation show, and he fucking humiliates himself on a daily basis. He's had a hate boner for AOC now for quite a while. Ever since AOC came out and endorsed Zoran. And Zoran beat this guy's shitty brother, Andrew Cuomo.
And he's going to beat him again because he's cost an election for everyone.
And so ever since then, he's been going hard at AOC over.
How about you all just come out of the closet and admit you don't like Zoran because he's Muslim? We know deep down that's the real reason.
And also, he's done a 180 on Trump. Now he tries to be like a Trump whisperer, sane washing guy. Where he's like, well,
oh yeah, I don't know if we covered this last time when we covered Andrew Cuomo, but apparently there's a rumor going around that Trump's trying to help Cuomo win now.
What I really meant was this, and that actually makes
Well,
sense.
that's because he's fucking MAGA.
Trump on the Epstein file shit.
He's MAGA. Cuomo's a MAGA now.
Alex Jones was struggling to defend him
When
on that shit.
face Zoran beats you, we're gonna laugh and laugh and laugh, and you'll probably run for third time somehow after the election's over.
Politics is not for you. Yeah, I get it. Your daddy was Mario Cuomo, and he was a New York governor.
He'll come back from the grave.
Go pick up some other shit.
I know.
Go get a hobby.
Maybe you're on the Epstein list, Cuomo, since you can't keep your hands off of women.
You
can see it.
Like the family
And Chris apparently too.
He doesn't care. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't care to know.
Like I said earlier, guys, Chris was accused of the exact same thing as Andrew was, and that's why he had to leave CNN.
Think of what he's trying to pull off here.
They're both sexual predators.
Pull off. I saw a fake AI video of AOC. Therefore, the real story is why don't you condemn Hamas? Like what? Like, gotcha, AOC. You know,
also,
like what are we doing here,
bro? We are at a point now where they are literally enacting the final solution on Gaza. Like, they are literally starving people to death on a daily basis. Every day they kill 100 or fewer people by shooting them when they're trying to get food.
Today, Thursday, is when we're recording this. They are voting in the Israeli Security Cabinet about
take all of
the
Gaza.
total annihilation plan.
Right.
This is not theoretical. This is not, oh, that's what the fringe is saying. That's what the lefties are. No. They are taking a vote on a plan of total annihilation. That's what's happening. It's out in the open. It's not a secret. Not that it ever really was. But if you are still defending this at this point, you belong in The Hague. Like, if you are out there doing
No liberal Zionists allowed in the party. How about that one?
media propaganda for this modern-day Nazi regime, it's beyond disgusting. Like, it's out. There are no words
And
for
that's
it.
all they have is, why don't you condemn Hamas? Or you're an anti-Semite. It's like, do you fucking hear yourself? It's like saying, I'm sick of all the anti-German racism in 1941. Right? Like, hey, what about the moderate Nazi? Like, that's what you sound like right now.
You know, he actually responded to my Slotkin interview in a way that was so
Or they do the Van Zee conference and start building the gas chambers.
Quote tweeted, somebody had said something like, you know, this is.
Well, we know we know that we're all with the construction of Alligator Auschwitz. You already know that America is 1940 Nazi Germany, which means you're about a year away from Van Zee and the building of gas chambers.
They all agree with each other. It's not journalism.
Which is why we need to take over in the midterms, people. So get out and kick these fuckers out.
I certainly don't agree with Slotkin. Like,
Well,
Socrates.
if you have midterms that are even remotely fair,
which we're gonna get to in a moment.
And that's total fucking projection, because as soon as he got in with that PBD crew, it was a fucking handjob fest all around, where everybody jacks each other off about how much they agree and how right they are and how anti-woke they are and all that bullshit.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
No, it actually fits very well with, I was just watching the new South Park episode on the way in
Amazing.
here.
It's so good. Go watch it right now, y'all.
And one of the storylines is about how it's just like, well, this is the way to pay the bills, is just to say like outrageous, controversial right-wing stuff, and that's what Cuomo's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he just was like, oh, well, this is the opening. I can't get back to CNN, so my sort of like mainstream outlet is gone, and you know, so this is the way to get attention, and so that's what I'm gonna do.
And I gotta say, there was a swing and a miss on one person in particular where I thought they were gonna do the right-wing grift, and I was wrong.
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
I was the one who said that. I'll take the heat on that one.
Me too. I said that shit too.
I thought that was for
I
sure
said
where
that
he
shit
was
too.
going.
And then he took that car and fucking veered it hard in the other direction and was like, nah, bro, I'm doubling down on being OD liberal.
Good for him.
Yeah, he had
Good
on
for
some.
him.
Did you see this? He had on a Texas lawmaker, Jolanda something.
No.
And she's fucking amazing.
Which I think we're going to
She's
probably
just
get
like,
to in a little bit, so we'll probably wrap it up right there. So, yeah, what do you guys say about Chris Cuomo falling for an AI video of AOC?
being fucking MAGA kind of makes that happen.
So, what's next?
And that would be Russian asset Benny Johnson caught buying subs and views.
Well, this is going to be fun all, but I have to say a little trigger warning before we start. Guess what Kyle's going to have to watch for this video?
David Pakman, I know.
How did you know that?
The man who, if he was in Israel, would be going around shooting Palestinians in the head.
Kyle, can you find someone better than Pac-Man, please? But anyways...
Unfortunately, he was the only one who figured this out.
Which is pretty sad. Anyways, Russian asset Benny Johnson was caught buying YouTube subs. Of course. Not surprised, probably using the Russian asset money, or who knows, maybe he's still being a Russian asset secret. But yeah, this is sad and pathetic. So let's watch this loser get destroyed by David Pakman.
So there was a report that came out about a week or so ago about how
we are not looking forward to hearing it, people. We can make that abundantly clear.
Channel is a guy by the name of Benny Johnson. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably familiar with
Russian
Benny Johnson.
asset, Kyle. You need to point out every time.
You know, he's sort of like a Tucker Carlson knockoff. He's like a dollar store Tucker Carlson or Temu Tucker Carlson. Super try-hard. Definitely in the closet, by the way. There was that story.
Well, there always are.
Tweeting something like, hey, what's up with these ads that are on this website? And it was like a gay singles cruise ad. And then people were replying to him like, you know those are targeted ads, right? So he outed himself in the...
At least we're comfortable with our sexuality, unlike you all.
Funniest way imaginable. But anyway, this guy's YouTube channel was growing not only more than anybody else's, but like it was like double or triple that of anybody else. And there were a bunch of fishy aspects about it too, because at the same time his views weren't going up. So David Pakman's going to lay this out for you, and he calls it the most suspicious thing he's ever seen on YouTube.
Oh God, Pakman has 3.5 million subs. Oh come on, people!
I agree. So let's see what he says.
He should have
I want to talk to you today
subs
about the most suspicious thing that I've ever seen on
Especially you,
YouTube.
Kyle. Come on.
It has everything to do with a YouTuber named Benny Johnson. Now, I published a piece on Substack about this, where I go into even more detail, but let me explain what this is about. I've been publishing political content to YouTube for a very long time. If you dig way back...
Yeah, we know,
I actually think you've been doing it longer than me. I think I was like 2012, maybe 2013. I think
you were 2008.
Before me, he was posting stuff.
You'll find videos from 2009.
Now that you mentioned that, I'm going to look that up.
Yes.
I got to go on his
now,
channel,
I think he's been doing it full time since then, if I remember correctly, right? Because
What?
G of this place, Sam Cedar.
The oldest video David Pakman put up. Of course, Shirley Phelps, September 2009. So Kyle's been on YouTube longer than Pakman.
Started as a hobby in 2008, so I actually was before him, but I think he started full time before me.
But after 15 years on this platform, you learn a few of the things that are just reality. Number one, video performance is unpredictable. You think a video will do well, it doesn't. You think a video will do okay, it blows up. You just sometimes don't know. Number two, if you talk about politics, half your audience will hate.
He's been on radio since, I think, about 2001 or 2002.
Longer than TYT, I think, as well.
At least the ones that comment. And this is the key part for us. New subscribers track closely with video views, unless something weird is going on. To get more new subscribers, you have to have more video views. If your video views go down, you're going to have fewer new subscribers.
Which happens to me, by the way.
Except if something very weird is happening. And this week, writer and researcher Kyle
Because
Tharp
I'm
published a piece
natural,
called "This
unlike
Right-Wing
Russian
YouTuber is
asset
Having a
Benny
Moment."
Johnson.
The YouTuber in question is Benny Johnson. The headline stat is that in Q2 of this year, Benny Johnson's YouTube channel gained 2.2 million subscribers.
First of all, this chart, insane. 2.2 million in just The second quarter? What the
He's
fuck?
a loser, though.
Benny Johnson, Fox News, MSNBC, Midas Touch, shout out to them. Charlie Kirk, Joe Rogan, Daily Show, Tim Cast, Turning Point, Tucker, Brian Tyler Cohen, Sean, Jack, I've had it, Asma Gold. Y'all got to do a better job, dog. Look, I love you. I love you guys to death, but let's keep it real. We're not even on the list. We're not even on the list. Come on, y'all. Click that sub button. I don't know what more it's gonna take. If we're not even, I want to be.
I can't press on, Kyle. I pressed on it back in 2013, so I can't press it again.
That's shocking to me.
Sorry.
That's shocking to me. But anyway, that.
And also, Kyle,
Benny
most
Johnson,
of your subs came in like right after Trump won, and then a few months into his second term. Pretty much, you already tapped out.
That's fishy as fuck.
Politics-related channel of the second quarter, by far. Now, why is this unusual? It's unusual because the growth in subscribers for Benny Johnson does not match growth in views. In fact, his views appear to be down slightly. Now, before we go deeper, remember who we're dealing with here. Benny Johnson was caught up in this 2024 scandal where it was revealed that he was indirectly receiving Russian money through a company called Tenet. Johnson and others said we had no idea the money came from Russia. The payment rates were wildly above market rate, in some cases $400,000 a month. Some even had six-figure signing bonuses. So this is not someone with a spotless track record. Now let's get back to the data.
So, yeah, he was part of that scandal where he was taking money from the Russian government through Tenet Media. So he's already got a sketchy-ass record. But look, I'll just say
how about we ship you to Russia if you want to spew your bullshit?
But his subs, he gains 2.2 million subs. That literally is not possible. That's not possible. That's inauthentic. That's fraudulent. Whether or not he knew about it and is in on it, that's a separate question. Maybe not on that front. I have no idea whether he knew about this happening or didn't know about this happening. But
come on, Kyle. We know he knows everything.
Going on. It's got to be bots.
They all know they were involved.
To make you grow that much.
Look at you two,
having
dimfool.
Fewer views, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not how it works. Like, it literally is impossible for it to work like that.
More views means more subscribers. It's not exact, but that's the pattern. Here's a look at my own channel, about 3.3 million subscribers right now. This is actual data from my YouTube analytics, and you can see clearly, more views, more subscribers. It's predictable, that's how it works. Now look at Benny Johnson's data from Q2. The arrows show...
Not possible. It's literally not possible.
Subscriber growth, but views that are either flat or declining. This is weird. Now compare this to Midas Touch. Midas Touch is one of the fastest growing progressive YouTube channels right now. Similar subscriber numbers, but their views match their subscriber growth. Midas has had high views, high subscribers. That's what you would expect. So what's going on here? There are really only a few scenarios where you see subscriber numbers and view numbers separate, decouple. Number one, if you say something truly awful, like so disgusting that it encourages your existing subscribers to unsubscribe, you could see that as the views go up of this disgusting thing you said, your net subscribers go down because people go, I got to unsubscribe. This is absolutely disgusting. But that's the opposite of what we're seeing. We're not seeing high views and subscribers going down. We're seeing low views and subscribers going up. And that's what gets us to the most likely scenario, which is some kind of artificial subscriber growth. And this is where things get complicated. Artificial subscriber growth might be completely legal paid ad campaigns. You run YouTube ads or Google ads. They're targeting subscriptions to your YouTube channel. You could do that. It's really inefficient for political channels. I don't know anybody who actually does it because the targeting isn't great. It's just really expensive. You've got to pay a crazy amount of money for a relatively small number of subscribers. However, if someone else is paying for that, if you had a super PAC, a foreign government, some propaganda agency, a wealthy ally, the logic changes. They're not worried about profit. They're after influence. So they might just pour money into inflating your channel subscribers through paid campaigns just to boost your reach. Now, there's other scenarios like maybe you're using some kind of technical trick, some auto-subscribe pop-up somewhere or embedded subscriber links or stuff like that. YouTube's terms of service don't allow that, and that stuff tends to get shut down. And finally, you could do what's called subscriber farming. This is probably the most concerning. There's a sort of black market for YouTube subscribers. You can buy them through click farms, hacked accounts, and in other ways. It's classic manipulation. These are like the tactics that Russia's Internet Research Agency does. You fake the numbers to make it seem as though you have a lot more influence. The fake subscribers are low quality. Over time, they tend to get purged out. But in the short term, they can really boost your clout by showing a really high subscriber number. So what is Benny Johnson actually doing? I have no idea. I want to be clear. I don't have evidence that any of the things I mentioned are happening.
But we sure do have evidence.
After 15 years of being on YouTube, I have never seen subscriber growth like this without a spike in views. I've talked to other creators. None of them have ever seen it. whatever is going on, the implications are big, and it's bigger than YouTube. If this is a coordinated third-party campaign, it raises really serious questions about influence operations manipulating platform metrics.
Yeah, it's so true. Basically, like, if he gets away with it, you've now opened the door to having YouTube completely inauthentic numbers on YouTube, which leads to inauthentic influence in the culture, which leads to, you know, coverage of certain viewpoints over other viewpoints. And it's incredibly misleading, and it steers the national dialogue and the conversation. It basically makes our entire political landscape completely and utterly fraudulent. And so this is something they gotta crack down. They gotta fix this. You cannot let this stand.
This is an algorithmic exploit. We know they won't. It would mean YouTube's defenses are weaker than we thought. That impacts everybody. And if this is paid acquisition for political gain, even legally, it could trigger a new arms race for artificial growth, and that will warp the field for independent voices, small creators, and those who don't have the pockets to generate artificial growth.
That's another great point. So, like, if he can do it, others are going to do it too, and that'll drown out the real people with real views. And it's just, it's like, it becomes like a race to the bottom. Because then what? In order to stay relevant, everybody's got to start buying subscribers? Like, what are we talking about here?
Now, if this is straight up fraud, bots purchase subscribers, that would mean it's still pretty easy to game the system, and the fallout isn't just views or clout. It's media coverage. It's look at the growth of this channel.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, fuck the dude who wrote that article. Like, nah, you can't reward that sort of inauthentic bullshit from this guy. Because now, okay, what's to stop Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder, whoever the fuck, from doing the same shit? Right? And what's to stop somebody from doing it on the Democratic side too? Like, you can't do that. You gotta know what you're talking about, know what's real and what's not real.
Must be saying important things. Well, is he, or is there some kind of artificial subscriber acquisition here? So this is by far the most suspicious thing I've seen on YouTube, and it hurts all of the progressive channels because many of us don't have the third party or whatever it is that is just dumping money into artificial growth.
And it's also a problem when it comes to the ad system that they've set up on YouTube, because if Benny Johnson remains in this place and is completely fraudulent and inauthentic, then how long until the companies that advertise realize, hey, we're spending all this money for YouTube ads, but apparently a lot of the views are completely and utterly fraudulent, and people aren't actually watching the shit that we thought they were watching, so why would I waste money putting ads on YouTube? And it could lead to another advertiser exodus, similar to Adpocalypse, when we went through that fucking bullshit, right? So no part of this is acceptable. And anybody with any power at YouTube who's listening to me right now, hey dog, y'all better get on this. Y'all better crack down and do something with this Benny Johnson shit, because this is not, I mean, this is like, the whole system is at risk based off his bullshit here.
What can we do? Number one, if you see something that doesn't make sense, report it to the platform that you're seeing it on. And number two, this is free. Just make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channels of the creators you actually support.
Man, that is wild, dog. That is wild. But it would be him, right? Because he was one of the original people involved with the Tenet media scandal, with taking money from the Russian government. And by the way, if he was willing to take that money from the Russian government, who's he not willing to take money from? He could be taking money from fucking Israel. He could be taking money from any of a number of corporations or right-wing think tanks. He's basically a paid fucking mercenary commentator is what he is. I mean, these people are just grotesque, man. I just have an endless well of hatred for the people who are doing this and don't actually believe in anything and don't care about anything and do inauthentic bullshit stuff like fraudulently grow their channel in a way where they're just lying to the world. Down with these charlatans and frauds, man. I can't fucking stand them. And they're putting the whole system at risk. And for what? For what? Hey, y'all, do me a favor.
So, yeah, what do you guys say about Russian...
astroturfing at its finest.
How about
you... astroturfing.
How about
the fact that he's doing this is troubling, deeply troubling.
How about your ass gets banned off of YouTube, Betty Johnson, Russian asset? How about you go be sent to Russia, too? How about that one? Yeah, the Russian Nazi state would love you just like red fascist China. Ha 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 ha. Stupid fuck. Alright, so now what's next?
Texas Republicans are rigging the 2026 midterms.
Of course, because we need to bring this up, and funny enough, Dylan Bird's gonna cover it, because he was the only one that seemed to cover it, I thought, objectively too, and actually gave a fair comparison to my state used to be as well. So, of course, for all of you who don't know, recently, Texas Republicans have just passed, with Democrats not even being in the state too, a gerrymander that will rig the elections to try and kick out as many Democrats in power to give the Republicans more seats in Congress and stuff. Now, of course, gerrymandering has been around for a long time, but Republicans do it worse. But more importantly, this has happened in the middle of a census year. Well, like in between. Usually, districts are changed their shape and all that after a census is done, which it was happened back in like 2021 to 2023 when all of them got changed across the country. But now they're doing it during the middle of it to try and help Trump while they have a chance, since they're probably not going to keep the House and Senate next year. So they're trying to rig it as much as possible. And of course, absolutely unacceptable. And of course, they're always cheaters and such, which is why all the blue states need to now rig it against Republicans and kick them out as a retribution. You're not going to...
What you do is you put you build basically just go house by house, and then it's like you do like 10% Republicans and then 90% Democrats until there's literally no way for the Republicans to ever get any seats.
Yep. So, yeah, that needs to be done because this is unacceptable and illegal, too. So, yeah, let's watch Space Dylan Burns destroy these idiots.
I want to talk to you guys about how Trump is trying to, quite frankly, rig the upcoming election by going and messing with the numbers when it comes to the electoral map. See, elections are not rigging an election is not as simple as just choosing who the person won. It's like changing the votes, right? There's many different ways to try to rig an election or try to make an election maybe not 100% guaranteed to come into your outcome, but stack the cards in such a way that defeating you would take something to the equivalent of a political miracle. And one way to do that is aggressive redistricting that is referred to as gerrymandering. Essentially what that is you take a map, a district map for the amount of congressional districts from your state, and then you cut it up in such a way that you make it so all of the people who would vote for the Democrats are in a tiny...
Gerrymandered Texas ones was so surgical, they went literally house to house and put every single black person in the state in one.
Tiny area that compromises the fewest
district.
Amount of...
every single black person in
fewest amount of districts. Or that you bundle them all together so that, like, 2 cities that would be blue are dispersed into one district when it should be 2 districts in order to make that one district blue, but then you can take the rest of that area and make it 2 red districts. Ways to make it so you're shortening the amount of the opposition team, in this instance, as we're talking about Texas, Democrats, from having as many seats as they otherwise would have if it was more proportional. I come from a state called Maryland, and we have a history with gerrymandering. We did have gerrymandering in the state of Maryland, and in fact, we were probably the most famous case of Democrats gerrymandering in the United States. Let me show you guys some old Maryland congressional maps.
Well, let's flex our flags, Dylan.
They put it before an independent commission, our map, and they came up with it. And our current map is nothing like the old one. I mean, look at it.
Go back to the old gerrymandered map, but make it even so gerrymandered that Republicans literally cannot get a seat.
Well, guess what? There's only one congressman that's Republican in Maryland, remember?
AI mode. I wish that was.
And guess who he represents? And guess what fat fuck he represents?
Here we are.
Losers.
Maryland congressional districts. If you go back, so right now, here it is. Kind of makes sense, right? You can see how 5 comes together, how 1 comes together, how 2 comes together. You can see how all of these different districts kind of snap together, right? They make some amount of sense. And you can look at this and be like, oh, that makes sense. You know, the areas that they've included, and like Anne Arundel and Howard, and, you know, Baltimore going into Carroll County. It makes sense that all the coastline would be its own thing. The South being 5, including St. Charles and Annapolis. And, no, you know, I'm in District 4 as a District 4 person. It makes sense, you know.
Other side of Chesapeake.
But then you go back to what the map was in 2003. And oh my God, what is this? Oh my God.
Oh man, if only you could see how bad Maryland was gerrymandered 20 years ago. Oh God.
Jesus Christ. What is that?
I might even look it up.
What? Look at that red district.
See how bad it is.
That? Ew.
It's on Wikipedia.
Ew.
I'm gonna look it up.
Ew.
I think I found the link.
That the Coast County goes into Baltimore County in this one. Like this, you can clearly see that there was some conniving that went on here. There was this was made off of a ridiculous standard, and the standard was not based off of what's most representative of the state, what's most representative of the way that we're broken up and sorted as communities, and what those communities represent. There is no connection between these red lines that go all the way through Baltimore. You're on the coastline you're on the way to Ocean City.
Hey, 10 minutes away from me.
On the other part of that red district. That is ridiculous.
Yep, I posted. Right? Take a look at that.
But compare that to where we are now, right? Which is with a normal set of districts that are largely fair enough, right? Which has led to...
What do you guys say about that gerrymandering?
Jesus.
A Republican getting elected in our state.
Yeah, and he happens to be my representative.
Now...
Andy, whereas no one likes you.
Interesting is you go back to old Maryland or some cases of gerrymandering in the past.
Maybe they should gerrymander that district so that the one Republican gets voted out.
And make me happy no longer having that fucker representing me? That would make me very happy.
Like, oh, I don't know what you mean. It's fair.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Of course my congressional district...
Just so you all know, Republicans, you are overwhelmingly disliked and hated in Maryland. We don't like you, and we want you all to go away and never come back.
Should look like a shattered cookie from Squid Games, or my congressional district should look... My congressional district should just look like the squiggles a child draws on the wall. Like it...
Your shit stinks.
This is the type of debate you had.
And that's why we're one of the few states that have a Democratic supermajority, because you can't do anything bad to us.
Now the entire
because your ideas suck ass.
We need to do what we need to do. We're explicitly rigging it. We're explicitly going to make it so it has fewer Democratic delegates, fewer Democratic representatives. And we're going to make the map, draw the map over making there as few Democrat seats as physically possible. And the goal is explicit from the President of the United States. He's openly said it is to pick up a few seats. We're gerrymandering. We're going to gerrymander to pick up a few seats. It is the explicit use of the political map to rig the ability to pick up congressional seats in Texas for Democrats in advance of the midterms so that they don't lose the House. And in response to...
And let's be honest, even if they did rig this, guess what? Democrats will probably win such a big blowout, it won't even matter. We'll still probably get the House. You could try, but you're going to fail. How about that one?
Greg Abbott has taken that up and said, great, we'll do a redistricting right now. And then Texas Democrats said, wait, we're not...
You remember Let's Talk Elections, right?
Yes.
He actually did a video the other day recently. If the current polls held for 2026... Democrats could get up to potentially up to, I think, 280 seats. That's a 70-seat swing.
We're not due for one. And then Greg Abbott said, we're doing one right now anyway before the midterms. Very convenient. Very convenient.
Like, when are you considered going to get it? We don't like you. Your ideas suck ass and
when you
always
look at the
will.
map, you can see
Stop believing
doing
them.
The old tricks of you include multiple cities that are Democrat with each other, even though they don't really have that big of a connection, and connecting them doesn't make sense. All of the tricks they could to make it so that there's as few Democrats from Texas as possible. So they pulled out every gerrymandering trick in the book, they put it out there, and so what the Democrats in Texas did is they left the state. They left the state in protest and fled to some states like Illinois and others to say, like, hey, look, if we leave, we'll break decorum. And if we break decorum, we can protest this blatant disregard for Texans, telling Texans that your votes aren't good enough on their own. We have to rig the game so that the Republicans can win, and only the Republicans can win. And by the like it's not even a secret what's happening here. Like when Greg Abbott talks about going out and now trying to arrest these people who have broke quorum, arrest these elected Democrats, he doesn't go there arguing like, oh, we're not rigging it. His whole thing is just about dereliction of duty, they broke the law. It's all just, there's no justification based on Democratic grounds like, oh, you know, it's not rigged, or let me explain to you. They know it's rigged. They just believe that they have the right to rig it.
And they don't. How about that one?
Of what a Texan is.
This morning, Texas Governor Greg Abbott turning up the heat, pushing Democratic lawmakers to return to the state capitol so Republicans can pass a controversial redistricting plan with national implications.
These are quitters.
Fuck, how about fuck off and die?
Will cause them to get kicked out of office.
In an exclusive Governor's Mansion interview with NBC News, Abbott told us he's pushing to arrest Democrats in and out of the state.
Good luck with that
after
one.
They left Texas in an effort to stall a plan pushed by President Trump to create 5 more Republican congressional districts in Texas.
We are entitled to 5 more seats.
No, you're not. How about that one?
Back to Austin. We are in the process, as we speak right now, of searching for, preparing to arrest Democrats who may be in Texas, may be elsewhere.
Texas Senator John Cornyn says the FBI has approved his request for federal law enforcement.
There's probably Republicans who are like, we should just shoot the Democrats in the head and replace them with Republicans.
Good. Hey, bad news for you. Second Amendment goes both ways.
For bribery.
You first.
Because they hate the Second Amendment deep down.
Yep. No, they only want it for white bastards like them.
Yep.
For white honkies like them.
It's not an abdication of the job. Who's abdicated their job is
just wait till Buko and Lulu get their hands on the Second Amendment.
Ahead of the flood victims.
By the way, it's not. I don't even know how you call them cowardly. It's one thing to be like, they should have stayed here. It's nonsense. But at least someone.
Oh yeah, and thank you Republicans for making Gavin Newsom all of a sudden become very popular. I really appreciate that.
You get what he's saying when you say, oh, they're coward. They're cowardly to what? Risk arrest. They're cowardly to. They're going to lose their job one way or the other if they just lay back and take it, because there's not going to be. You're making it so Democrats can't get elected in Texas. You're making it so that you're districting it in a way so demographically you're stacking the cards against them, and you're being explicit about it. What do you expect them to do? They're elected to represent their constituents, and you're expecting them to look their constituents in the face and say you can only elect Republicans now as somebody who's meant to represent them. Of course they're not going to do that. If they're meant to represent them, they're going to represent them. They're going to fight so that they are represented.
To California to stand with Governor Gavin Newsom.
The idea that the President of the United States says he's entitled to 5 seats should sicken everybody.
With California, New York, and Illinois all threatening to fight back by creating more partisan redistricting maps of their own.
What's your message?
Which, by the way, that would actually hurt Republicans more, even if they did their thing in Texas. They would lose more seats. So in that case, Democrats would take the House next time without even having to put much effort in.
To governors like Newsom.
By the way, this is the only way Democrats can really respond with no legislative
you're gonna rig it. We're gonna rig it to
Senate.
fuck you over. How about
They
that?
have to respond with fire.
And we have more firepower than you are.
If you're
remember, most of your states have 1 congressman because you're so tiny in population. We have like every major populated state except for 2. You don't have the power. We do. So you fall in line and shove it.
Gavin Newsom, that means rewriting
and
the
surrender instantly.
California Constitution so that you can gerrymander.
Exactly.
And I don't want to go down this road. I don't want this to be the road. But what other avenue do you pursue as a person who wants it to not be a one-party state? Who wants it to that we have multiple parties that you can vote for in the United States? You can have an opposition. What do you do besides trying to fight fire with fire? You cannot have one political team playing by one set of rules. So you either create a unified standard, which Republicans have so far refused to do, or you fight fire with fire. And so Gavin Newsom has threatened to gerrymander more Republicans out of California. Other states have made similar threats. I mean, even here in Maryland, if you make Andy Harris have to run in Baltimore County,
maybe
fuck him. You can change the outcome.
I don't care if it's just one seat. Fuck him. I want someone. Give me a Democrat for once. I'm tired of dealing with Andy Harris.
But this game of playing fire with fire is certainly not going to be enjoyed by the representatives in those districts.
He sure don't represent what I want.
Republicans in blue states who are going to feel threatened by more states doing this and the normalization of this gerrymandering. Many states who have fought to get away from it, like Maryland, which is often used as an example.
And remember, we have a Democratic supermajority, so Republicans can literally do nothing to stop us if we wanted to. So, again, surrender instantly.
And it's just bad for the country. It's bad for a democracy. It makes our democracy less responsive based off of partisan interests.
And it'll be all Republicans' fault, as always.
It's parasitic for our country. It's the type of things that can get rid of the release valve for social pressure through elections that can lead to not only chaos on the street, but the essential slow death of a democracy. So it is something that should be fought against and certainly not normalized to the extent of like, yeah, we can gerrymander, whatever.
Pritzker, who have said they will retaliate if Texas does this. They have no capability. They've already gerrymandered their states in ways in which they don't have hardly any Republican members of Congress. It's a joke.
And the stakes of this debate could not be more serious, with control of Congress and the balance of power nationwide hanging in the balance. Savannah.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Kristen Welker is following this story. She'll have it Sunday on Meet the Press, including an exclusive conversation with Illinois Governor.
So, I see this as terrible. I see this as awful. Jesse Waters, Fox News representative, to just show you the other side on this, he thinks actually this is like great for Dems. And I want to show you the brilliant commentary that's happening on the
Jesse
other network.
Waters, the sex pest?
Listen to him talk about this map from this congressional redistricting.
And look at one of the Texas districts that Democrats are running away from. They basically drew a highway between Houston and Austin. Even the media is calling them hypocrites.
That's the point. That's the point. The point is to limit the amount of Democrat districts. So you tried to stuff a bunch of areas that are highly densely full of what would be Democrat or Democrat sympathetic or centrist voters into one district, or to as few districts as possible. Like, for example, instead of San Antonio and Austin being two separate representative districts, them being one district, turning two Democratic representatives into one Democratic representative. He doesn't even understand what gerrymandering is. He just knows, Jesse Waters, that it can rig an election and therefore is in favor of it. And if you think I am being facetious in the way I describe it, you can listen to the man himself.
Do I want to listen to him, though?
He believes that the Democrats should not be allowed to be the opposition.
Right now, they're using the N-word, nuclear. And that usually typically
I know you want to say the other N-word.
Nation-state battles, when someone's survival is at stake, you use nukes if your back's up against the wall. And it's existential for the Democratic Party. If you think about it, if we gerrymander and they gerrymander, we have 20-seat advantage. All right? We have a Supreme Court 6-3 majority. And just the way the geography is in the Senate, you're always going to have more advantages for Republicans that way. If you can lock this in with what they're trying to do, the Democratic Party is screwed. And that's what we've been trying to accomplish
we do
for the last
gerrymander
3
in our
decades.
states.
That's
we
what
have
they've been
more
trying to do
seats,
to
so
us.
we win the end. How about that?
He's open. Like, it's... We just want to make it so that the game is stacked in a way that doesn't really matter what the majority of Americans want. It's just the map will be drawn in a way where we're always going to have the high ground. And therefore, we can always keep the majority. And in a separate segment, I swear to God, he literally says that the Democrats cannot be the opposition party. They have to be a permanent minority. And pursuing that by redrawing the map...
Oh, I want you all to be a permanent minority forever because you all suck ass.
For basically turning the American political system into a farce on national television. And he continues to be booked for the show, continues to make big money as this man goes up there and questions the Americanness of other people while spouting the most un-American principles you can possibly imagine. Oh, we're going to lose an election? Just redraw the map. Redraw the system until it's impossible for us to lose because we're too scared of the opposition. The opposition can't be allowed
Or maybe you become progressive, then maybe you would win. How about that one?
to win so we have to redraw the system. They can only lose. We're scared of it's just fascism. You can't describe it any other way. We need to be the permanent majority. You cannot even be the opposition party. You have to be the permanent minority, and we're going to design the system in a way that keeps us in control. This reminds me of the system in Myanmar when it comes to like reforming it from the military. It's like, okay, here's Myanmar democracy. We get the military do have a veto power, and that means you would have to get over 75% of the elected representatives to agree in order to change the Constitution and get rid of our veto power and get rid of all the institutional powers we've just set in for ourselves. Also, we get 25% of the representative seats just off the bat. We not even a race for it. You're stacking the cards in a way by which denies the democratic process, which might help you in solidifying power, but creates a dangerous situation where you have stabbed the democracy and then you stand over it grinning with no one else to blame now for the nation's problems but you, with no release valve. That's a dangerous place for both you, even if it is a position of power, and it's an even more dangerous place for the country. And Trump wants to nationalize this program. Trump wants to nationalize it.
No.
Trump
How about
wants
that?
A federal redistricting program done right now.
Well,
Mind
too
you,
bad. You can't. So fuck you.
He wants a census right now so he can do
Exactly.
federal
Sorry,
redistricting.
census every
and
10
take
years.
away
You gotta
some
wait till
House seats here and
2030,
there.
and you're gonna be
Mind
gone by
you,
then.
we
So
do
ha.
this every 10 years. It's been 5. He wants to speed it up and do another one right now, right away.
Too bad.
Why? To redraw the map.
Mold, sieve, dilate, L+ ratio.
Not debatable, and when we say it, you go, okay, and we'll drop it instantly.
Take away financial resources that are given into every area based off of the census if they are including undocumented immigrants, which the Supreme Court has already knocked down his case to try to change that during the first term when he was in office. So right now, he's in a redistricting war to try to preserve his majority going into a midterm that if historical trends continued, he would probably lose.
Badly, too.
So instead of putting in the legwork legislatively to win, or as a leader to win, they instead are just trying to change the name of the game. They're playing the player, not the game, and changing the rules of the game.
So yeah.
Yep, because they're fascist thugs.
Yep, as all Republicans are. So we guys say about that Texas gerrymandering, the House.
As well.
Yep, to try and fuck over everyone because they know nobody likes them and no one agrees with them. Even their state, no one likes and agrees with them. Absolutely pathetic and unacceptable. All right, so now we're on to, I think, the final topic.
It's the final topic, and that would be the Alaska meeting between Trump and Putler.
Yep, and it's a good thing we didn't do the episode today because it gave us an extra bit of time to hear what was going on since it was going to be a few hours before we did the episode yesterday. So, of course, yesterday was Alaska 2025, which was a stupid, irrelevant, and pointless diplomatic meeting between Trump and Putler in Alaska. I find it kind of funny that was done in Alaska as like a fuck you to Putler. See, this used to be yours, now it's not, and you're never getting it back. Also, it's funny seeing the B-2 Spirit flying over his head as they were walking over to Trump, if you saw that. Oh yeah, and all the F-35s and all them nearby as a signal. You mess around, you might see these over Moscow. Do you really want that, pal? So know your place. So symbolically, that was beautiful. But the whole meeting was a complete and utter waste of time. Because nothing happened and nothing was going to happen. And if anything did happen, of course, it would be negative for Ukraine, which is absolutely unacceptable. So, as Putler, still to this day...
has in Georgia as well.
Yep. Putler still has not changed his rationale from the Russia-Ukraine war since he started. He wants to take over all of Ukraine.
As I said, he's still trying to resurrect the Russian Empire. No, you Stalinists. It is not the Russian. It is not the Soviet Union. He wants the Russian Empire.
Yep, and he wants Trump. Yeah, he wants Trump to give up and let him take over all Ukraine and all that. And of course, I don't trust Trump, even though he seems to have done like a bit of a 180 recently. Still can't trust him. Thankfully though, nothing at the moment seems to have happened and such, but shows once again, it was a complete waste of time. There's only one thing, if you're going to have peace, there's only one way you're going to do it. Two things actually. One, Russia has to leave all of Ukraine, and that includes Crimea. And two, they have to join NATO. That's the end of it. Anything less than that is unacceptable and no deal. You don't appease Nazis, you put bullets in their heads. Like Putler. So, yeah, that was very frustrating to deal with that yesterday, and we have to say about it.
Pretty stupid.
Oh, one good thing that changed, though, because originally it was supposed to be just Trump and Putler. They became 3-on-3 with Rubio and someone else in Trump's admin. So hopefully they gave him like another voice to hear, like, don't listen to Putler. You can't trust him on everything. Hopefully, because you know how Trump is, he only listens to the last person he talks to. Hopefully they convinced him otherwise. But that's asking for a lot, because he's such an idiot, and they're idiots too. But you can only hope. So, yeah, don't do it again unless it's actual peace. And actual peace too. Not no giving up Ukraine to anything. So yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think there's anything left to cover on that. So I guess that's gonna wrap it up in under 2 hours too. And guess what, guys? With no more Starbies, we can finally go back to the first time in February, our 2-week break. So see you all at the end of August for episode 136.
See you then.